Guys, I don't know how much of this I'll be able to take. We're about to undergo exposure to nuclear levels of cringe. You're going to have to take one of those hardcore decontamination showers after this, where they, like, use metal bristled scraping brushes on you. Like, they're gonna have to get, like, particles out of your skin and your hair. You're gonna have to shave your head completely just to make sure no particles of cringe have stayed on your body to continue poisoning you, because it will kill you if you don't completely sterilize yourself after this. And I don't know how much exposure we're going to be able to survive through. We might as well be in the same room as the Demon Core with what we're about to watch. You see Elon Musk, I think right now, probably the cringiest man in the world, which is really wild when you consider that we exist on the same planet as Chris Chan. Don't tell Chris Chan that, though. But we live on the same planet as Chris Chan, the same world, and somehow Elon is the world's most cringe guy. Here's the thing about that, though. Elon recently went to CPAC, the big conservative event. And if you know anything about CPAC, then one thing you should know is that it is going to be nothing but a crowd of the most mindless NPC seal clappers for Trump and Elon and everything they stand for. They will cheer for whatever, they will clap for whatever. Which means Elon doesn't have to have any concern about not being too cringe. Like, Elon is a really cringy guy. I'm not talking about his politics or anything. He's a cringy guy, and this may surprise you, but he's usually trying not to be too cringe because he's not in front of an audience that is that's like resistant to that 24/7. Like, not every audience he speaks to or every event he goes to is full of people that worship him, and so he kind of has to keep, like, as much of his cringe contained as possible. This is CPAC, though, a place where the more cringe he gets, the more people will cheer. And because of that, we saw him unleash it here. I don't know how much of this we're going to be able to watch, but this is CPAC and a peek into the current culture and movement of the right wing in America, and possibly the worst display of Elon's social skills I've ever seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Doge Update. Please welcome New Max host, Rob Schmidt.
Hey. Man, that is a big crowd.
Okay, this guy, I watched this whole event, by the way. Like yesterday, I watched it off stream. So I've seen all of this, and it was very painful to sit through. That's why I'm probably going to do a bit of skipping around and whatnot. The audio is loud. Okay, thank you for telling me. I'm glad you told me. This guy, I've never seen someone glaze another man so hard. If you've seen gay porn, then maybe you've seen a more severe case of it. But for me, as a straight man, I felt like I was watching gay porn as I watched this guy glaze Elon on stage. Like, you are about to see the most glazing interview framed as if it's an honest, like, hardball informing the people interview that you have ever seen. I mean, one of the questions is legitimately, what is it like inside of your genius mind? I can't even imagine it. That is legitimately one of the supposedly hard-hitting questions this guy gives Elon. It is a glaze fest, bro. And it's not even the most cringe part of this event.
And they are not here for me.
It's already
How
starting.
You guys doing? Nice vibe this year, right? After the best month we've ever had.
I
nice
like
to see
the
you all. Thanks for coming out. Good
cheer
to see you.
louder
I'm not going
hand
to kill
motion.
any more time. Let's bring out Elon Musk.
Soy! Oh, he did it. He did it. He's wearing a gold chain and like a waistcoat.
We're going to stay up for 1 second.
And sunglasses. He's got his dark MAGA hat on too. He always wears all black now as well, and sunglasses inside, of course. He's trying, like, he really wants to be cool, but like his conception of cool is wears all black, wears chains, and wears a sunglasses and a baseball cap. That is what he thinks is cool, and so that's how he dresses.
We've got one more surprise in case this wasn't enough. I'm gonna let Elon do it. Who else is here?
Oh my God, here it comes, guys.
President Milei has a gift for me.
Javier Milei from Argentina. You guys know who that is, right?
Other big right-wing victory in the world was Javier Milei winning the presidency in Argentina. He got Elon Musk a chainsaw. It's like, okay, guys, I know that it's become a really tired meme at this point, all right? But there is a movie. It is a very political movie, to be fair, but it's not even like a left or right-wing movie. Today, it reads as a very left-wing movie, but it honestly just kind of is meant to be a parody of, like, what if America got so stupid that everybody was, like, genuinely fridge temp IQ? Like, we're talking, like, they would be living in special needs homes, like, today, but everyone is like that in this movie. It's called Idiocracy. And it's about a guy, he, like, ends up going into the future, and in that future, America is cooked. The world is cooked, but America especially. And, it's, like, no one is literate, no one can spell, no one can even keep their attention span going for more than 5 seconds. Like, everyone's named after popular snack food brands and stuff like that. Like, one of the main characters' names is Frito, because he was named after Fritos. Everyone's got some, like, corporate name, works for, like, a big mega corporation, which are all mostly responsible for dumbing everyone down and everything. And what I find so prescient about the movie Idiocracy and America right now is the vibe of the government. The scenes in which he is, like, talking to the president, who is played by Terry Crews, fantastically, and he is an ex-wrestler, like, ex-WWE guy, who's, like, always doing this big performance on stage, rock band, fire blasting out of, like, machines, fog machines, and lasers, and loud music, and big monster truck rallies, and yeah, that's his whole thing, right? And it's so eerily similar to what we're seeing right now. Like, let me see if I can find more images from the movie. Like, at one point, he pulls out an AK. Or not even an AK, no, it's a fucking LMG, Jesus. He pulls out, like, a full-on machine gun and starts blasting it in the middle of, like, the Oval Office, or not even the Oval Office, in the middle of the, I think, Congress floor, if I'm remembering right. And, like, there you can see Pepsi logo, or I think it's Pepsi logo. All these company logos, like, on, like stamped into our representatives, like, podiums and whatnot. Like, our government is sponsored by Pepsi and whatnot. Like, it is actually insane how much like this movie our society has gotten at this point. Like, it feels like a meme to say. It feels like so soy to say this, but then you see Elon Musk on stage with the chainsaw, and you're like, oh, man. It's happened. It's real.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
And what's so magical about Elon's cringe is that, like, normally when a person is cringe like this, the humor in it is that everyone is pointing and laughing at them, And they don't realize that. They are blissfully ignorant of the fact that they're doing something that everyone is pointing and laughing at them for. But here, while everyone reasonable is pointing and laughing at this guy, he's so surrounded by admiration and applause that he is so sure that he is cool right now that the thought that what he's doing is cringe isn't even like not even close to passing through his mind.
All right.
I love it. Mr. President, thank you so much.
All right.
And it's like, to be like, you got people in the crowd screaming, "We love you, Elon!" It's like, do they not see what we see here? Like, it's insane.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Nice to meet you.
Like, look at him. He's like, the way he moves, like, he's so cringe, man. He's so cringe.
Where should we put it?
They want it right here.
All right, great.
Yeah, it's really funny how they're celebrating Javier Milei, who, like, immediately plunged his country into, like, record-breaking poverty. But that is what they're aspiring to. He is part of the gang. That is what's coming for America, whether you voted for Trump or not. Like, look at what Javier Milei did to Argentina, and the fact that they love that guy and see him as one of them and a world leader that thinks like them. And if you think America's going to end up any different, I got news for you.
A little stage prop.
What do you guys do? Thanks, guys.
Have a seat.
Soy!
So,
Oh, yeah. Javier Milei is starting his own crypto scam, too. It's not just that these people are so cringe and awful with their politics, but, like, they're literal crypto scammers. Trump is actively running a crypto rug pull right now. Multiple. There's World Liberty Financial, and then there's Trump Coin. And Melania Coin, too. So there's 3 rug pulls, at least, that Trump is publicly running. Crypto rug pulls. It's like, we have literal crypto scammers in office. Like, the president is a crypto scammer. Think about that for a second. The president is openly running a crypto scam. Not just one, though. Several.
That was something.
I am become meme. Yeah.
I'm turning up the volume on this part in particular. This is... I am become meme, guys. He said it. Just
So,
watch him here.
That was something.
I am become meme. Yeah, pretty much. I'm living the meme. It's like there's living the dream and there's living the meme, and it's pretty much what's happening, you know?
You're like, I think you're bigger.
I mean, Doge started out as a meme. Think about it. And now it's real. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
But it's cool.
Let me ask you this.
Like, I want to say, like, that this stands on its own as like, just blatantly cringe, and I don't have to explain how ridiculous this is. But there are countless Americans, who see this guy and they're like, oh my god, he's so cool and relatable. Is this literally just, like, national revenge of the nerds? Is that what's happened here? Like, is it just, like, the biggest fucking losers have just, like, taken over and they're finally getting their revenge? And it's just a coalition of the country's biggest losers, and they have no self-awareness, so they can't see it in Elon either. Is that what this is? It really must just be that, right? The blatant lack of acknowledging, like, how damn near unbearable this is. Like, it's almost unbearable to watch Elon try to communicate an idea. He thinks he's so cool, but he's so incapable of, like, fundamental social skills that it's unbearably cringe.
A year ago, if someone had told you you'd be at CPAC and working with the president to absolutely shred the government, the swamp, whatever you want to call it, would you ever believe that?
I love to shred the government, but you know what? That's what people want. A foreign billionaire is shredding the U.S. government, and Americans are like, yeah!
No.
No. Me neither.
But it's cool. This is awesome.
He sounds like, oh fuck, can I do the Jim Carrey Ace Ventura laugh? He laughs like that. He laughs like Jim Carrey when Jim Carrey is acting like a weirdo.
And I just want to say, thanks for your support. I mean, you guys are, So, I mean, we're trying to get good things done, but also have a good time doing it, and and have like a sense of humor, So, I mean,
humor is legal again.
The left wanted to make comedy illegal, Like, you can't make fun of anything. So there's like, comedy sucks. It's like, nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like, legalize comedy. Yeah. Legalize comedy.
And we
I need you to understand that what won a lot of support over to Trump were these nonsense culture war internet talking points that we argue with on a daily basis, breaking out of the internet into the mainstream. He talks like a teenager. You have to understand that, like, you're old. I'm not saying this is an insult, but we're getting old, guys. He's not talking like a teenager. He's talking like a 23 or 22-year-old. What we think of as talking like a teenager, it's been years now. Those 14, 15, 16-year-olds from like 2019, 20, 21 posting cringe like Kekius Maximus memes, those people are in their 20s now. They're working jobs and they vote. And they're adults who contribute to the culture of the country and have an influence now on our elections, on the market, because they are voting with their wallets. He's trying to appeal to this young 18 to like 23, I would say, demographic of conservative young men who think that Elon's like the epic memer billionaire that they're destined to become because they're just like him. So surely they're going to end up just like him. Not divorced and a loser, but a billionaire. That's what they expect is their future. Because if they're just like Elon, then they must have the same success on the horizon for them like Elon does. It's like blatant attempts to come off as relatable from a guy who is literally incapable of being relatable. The world's richest man cannot be relatable to the average person. That is not a thing that can happen no matter how much you try to gaslight us into thinking it can happen, okay? He is not relatable.
We've shifted the entire culture in just the last few months. The whole culture of this country has shifted dramatically just because of that election.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech, having fun again.
This is part of the gaslighting, by the way, to demoralize you. The left may have lost every branch of government, but it was very slimly, like by like 1 or 2 seats, and in the case of the presidency, by a couple 100,000 votes. And yet, because they won all these branches of government, even by a sliver, because it's such a massive victory, and it is a massive victory, but not a cultural one in the way they're framing it. They really want to frame this as the left has lost, the left is done, there is no more future for the Democratic Party, it's over. They're even trying to push the idea that there are no progressives, and maybe there's they've been genuinely bouncing around the number of maybe there's 60,000 actual progressive Democrat voters in the country, and everyone, every other Democrat vote was fake or like an illegal immigrant or something, or an AstroTurf paid shill. And so they're trying to demoralize you by pushing this idea that the left is done, it's over, we won everything, there's a big cultural push against the left. The country's not getting more conservative since Trump got elected, okay? I promise you. People are not getting more on the Trump train since Trump took office. But what they're trying to do is say, because the right won a slim victory in every part of the federal government, that means that they won a landslide. They've tried to push the idea of a landslide. Despite Trump winning by 200,000 votes, he won a landslide victory, apparently, right? Even though they won by 1 or 2 seats in every other branch, they won a landslide victory in all these areas. It's a lie, but because all these places are red, most people aren't going to think about the lie too much or even argue with it. Because if you debunk it, it almost comes off as a semantic, right? But it's a fundamental vibes-based argument that's meant to make people feel like the direction of the country is moving right because that's the right direction, And it's not. But it's this weird appeal to popularity that a lot of the biggest right-wing demagogues make. Like, oh, you don't want to be on the side that's, you don't want to be on the side that doesn't, that's not popular and winning right now, that America's decided doesn't work. You want to be on the winning side.
It seems like we should have a good time,
I mean, it's a great time. Everybody in this place is so excited. And, and I mean, when you talk to conservatives, everybody's happy. And everybody feels this great sense of relief because we were going to hell for about 4 years. It really felt bad, especially toward the end. It felt really bad.
Yeah, I thought we were sort of heading for a point of no return, really. Until that's why it was so essential that President Trump win the election, and that there be a Republican majority in the House and Senate, which, thanks to you, that has been
so
accomplished.
Incapable of speaking.
I want to ask you, one of the biggest questions I have for you is, and you've been, politically, you weren't really on one side or the other for a long time. You were a businessman.
Hold on, let me get to the real glazing. Do we have the transcript? Hold on, let me see if we have the transcript. Yeah, subtitles and closed captions unavailable. Damn. There was such a glazing question I was hoping to find, but this is like 30 minutes of shit I would have to whiz through to find it.
At this point, I'm not sure how much of the left is even real.
Here,
election.
You know what? This is a relevant point. Actually, this is a relevant one to jump to. This is actually touching on the conspiracy theory that they're pushing that I was just talking about. The left isn't even real. We don't exist. We were just a corporate, Jewish-funded smokescreen this whole time.
Try to win on that.
Well, at this point, I'm not sure how much of the left is even real.
How much was propped up by our money?
Let's go, Elon!
Fake rallies where there's hardly any people, and the media will frame
fake
it
rallies.
and get all 6 people in the frame, but there's nobody else is there. It doesn't have popular
4.
support. But
there's no popular. Mind you, you get to say this if you've maintained for 8 years almost, or not 8 years, 4 years, that the election was stolen in 2020, because if you don't maintain that idea, then Biden won the most votes of any president in any election ever by 10 million or 11 million more than Trump got as the winner. So the idea that they had that you have to be pushing the idea that's why they've been pushing this idea. They cannot actually engage with the idea that a significant amount of people are progressive, because if that's the case, they can't call foul whenever they lose. No loss that they take in politics can ever be fair.
But then you learn that there's hundreds of billions of dollars going to these so-called NGOs.
Hundreds of billions.
And it's your tax dollars that are funding things that are fundamentally anti-American.
And they're propping up their narrative.
Yes.
A lot of that government money has been
That's right, hundreds of billions. Literally the same amount as our military defense spending. Hundreds of billions going to these left-wing NGOs. We're funding them like we're funding our military-industrial complex. It's literally, you have to be so stupid and ignorant and lazy. This is American laziness. You have to understand. So many people are not too lazy to talk about politics, but they're way too lazy to research and learn about it. And this is not a left or right wing thing. This is literally just a person thing. And I have deliberately forced myself to put in more work than I see most other content creators putting in, left or right in this space, because the standard of research and looking into things is so low for anybody that it's not something people do. No one's going to look into okay, what is the yearly U.S. budget? How big of a claim is that from Elon? Oh, that would literally be hundreds of billions would have to be at least 40%, 30% of the U.S. federal budget per over the course of years, not even per year. It's an insane amount. And so, yeah, I think that a lot of it is just the fact that a lot of Americans are lazy. And they don't want to research anything, and they don't want to look into things. And people like this who are willing to tell you a convenient lie to fill in your gaps in knowledge, people are always going to flock to that kind of thing. It's a big reason why Joe Rogan conspiracy theories have gotten so popular. People go on there and they hear some interesting narrative about how the world is more interesting than they ever thought it could be because of some conspiracy or agenda against them. And it's more fun to believe that than to be really? Is that true? Let me look into that real fast and Google and just see if if any of that stands up to scrutiny. It's way easier just to say, oh, hell yeah, sure. Especially if it confirms any of your biases. It's way easier to just run with that. I've been dealing with a coworker that believes Elon is the second coming of Christ, and every time I correct him on facts Elon is vomiting, he just moves to a new talking point. Well, yeah, of course. Once you've destroyed them on a talking point, they have to move to something new. Because if they can get you on something, they can just harp on that and then end the conversation there and pretend they won. And they're right. All they have to do is a simple Google search, and doing that is very difficult for the average American, but will look up if they are dying from an infection in a heartbeat before going to the hospital. That's true. You're not wrong there. That is a good point, Perry Icefire. But yeah, I mean, I'm talking about even in the, political space. Don't you remember that, Vosh famously said he doesn't need to prepare for debates? And, famously, just, he literally stopped doing debates before the whole, child porn folder leaked. He had before his lolly folder leaked, he had already stopped doing debates because he just could not be fucked to research for them. It became a running joke even in his own community. He won't research for debates because research is a pain in the ass, and most people are lazy, and research takes a certain kind of lack of lazy, acting upon or against, lazy impulses that most people are not willing to act on, even if researching politics is their job, you know? Even then, people are constantly trying to cut corners on the research and the work they do to, scrutinize their beliefs.
Popping up a left that I don't think is as strong as they made it seem.
In fact, a massive amount of your tax dollars is going to legacy media companies.
Yes.
Directly from the government.
True.
The government wants to take over media.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. That's why we have X.
Yeah, and
that's why you spend $44 billion. I mean, that's a lot of money.
He owns Twitter and controls what people can and can't say, constantly banning people that criticize him. And it's we just need... That's why I bought X, so now we have freedom of speech. Twitter is now the freedom of speech platform, where if you say cisgendered, you get literally you get shadow banned. It gives you a notification that you just got shadow banned if you say cisgender, because Twitter considers it a slur. Before you ask, yes, you can say the N-word. Twitter does not consider the N-word a slur, but cisgendered is. Yeah. Very good stuff. I think I'm tapping out of that cringe now. I don't think I could take any more. We literally have chuds in YouTube chat right now saying that I'm on copium because I'm criticizing Elon Musk. They are so lost in their world of delusion. They watch this guy, fumble and giggle his I don't even know what to call it, schmuckle his way across stage in the most socially awkward way imaginable, and they're like, yeah, this middle-aged man in all black and sunglasses and a black baseball cap is the coolest guy ever. He's so relatable as the world's richest man. It's so cool that a foreign non-citizen is shredding the U.S. federal government. I'm sure he has only pro-American goals motivating him. Not even American, literally not American, objectively, but he must only have Americans' best interests in mind. Obviously. It's unimaginable that he wouldn't, you know? Anyway, if you enjoyed this segment, if you thought it was entertaining, educational, or enjoyable in any way, then please consider leaving a like and a comment down below. Every single thumbs up and every comment, whether you're watching live or after the fact, helps immensely and is the best way to support the channel, as it's totally free, and it just directly supports the channel, forcing YouTube to promote my stuff in the algorithm. So I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys do that. But even if you didn't, you can always subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications that YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload a new video. That is also totally free. You can also follow my social medias, linked down below in the description, to see more stuff from me on other platforms. And of course, if you want to support me directly, financially, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, you can always donate, subscribe, or gift a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live. Or you can support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or you can buy some Xander Hall merch through the Streamlabs link down below in the description. Regardless of how you support me, though, thank you so much for watching as always, and I hope you have a good one.